This is Mary Amick, EDU 528. It says week 7 assignment, final budget. On the left hand side in white, you'll see the actual budget allocations, the things that I decided to go with. On the left hand side, it also corresponds to the same sport. On the right hand side, corresponds to the sports on the left hand side of the items that were left off and the justifications. For the girls' track team, I thought necessary to get the track batons, the brass shots, the soft shell indoor shot, and the rubber disc. All of these items are necessary for competition and play. The items that I left off of their budget was the uniforms because it was justified in there. Athletes would get to keep those and purchase them. For men's track, I allotted on the left hand side. You'll see the Fusion starting block pedal adapter, the Blazer Relay matte black batons with rolled edges, the Asics solid modified singlets. All of these things are necessary for play, and things that were left out from their budget were shoes and the zipline warm-ups. Shoes are left out just because the wear and tear on shoes, they will not last longer than a year. And the zipline warm-ups I left out because they are not necessary for competition, and this could be something that could be fundraised for. Girls basketball, I allotted money for home and away uniforms, Wilson Legacy basketballs, and a scorebook. All of these things are necessary in order for the teams to compete. The things that were left off for the girls basketball program was a double-sided coach's board. I felt like the coach could purchase this for personal use, and the Monster Ball locker. The reason I left this off is because the school should have something there that could be provided cheaper. If not, we could find something cheaper athletically. Men's basketball, I allotted the Spalding Legacy balls, reversible uniform tops, and reversible bottoms, scorebooks, and the Slipknot refill sheets, and the Kramer's Trainers tape. Things that were not allotted were the Huddle Basketball Gold video subscription. Athletic boosters will generally help pay for this. The Porter Breakaway Windows, a fundraiser could support this. It's not necessary for gameplay. 55-inch Insignia Class TV. School has technology and TVs that we can use, and it's much cheaper. Google Chromecast, I figured the school technology person could provide. KB basketball clipboard, a coach could purchase this for their personal use as well. And the Mueller ball cleaner, I didn't say this was necessary for competition, but maybe if this was something the team thought they needed, they could fundraise and get that as well. Now, softball. The softball list I actually created myself, and I went on it, instead of going the route of the equipment, I went with facilities upgrades, which is not necessarily what was correct for the project. So I went with the cheaper end of this, with whole field fencing at approximately $4,000 because this needs to be upgraded for safety concerns. I left off the dugouts, the press box, the bleachers, and the concession and restroom reconstruction because a bond referendum in the district or district support could help pay for the rest of those things. Football, I allotted money for helmets. They need these in order to compete, and these are extremely important and need to be of the highest quality. Uniforms in the trap shoot, uniforms could be found cheaper. They were listed at $32,000, and I think we could find a cheaper set of uniforms for the first year, fundraise to get some better ones for the next. And the trap shoot, that could also be fundraised for. Soccer, I put in to the budget home and away uniforms and home and away uniform tops and home and away uniform bottoms, socks, and soccer balls. All these things you have to have in order to compete. The things that I left out were half of the soccer balls I didn't think that we needed. 20 soccer balls, we could purchase 10 and then purchase them along the way. They are very expensive. And practice jerseys, that's something could be fundraised for. Girls lacrosse was next. Put in for half a case of yellow balls, home and away uniform, a uniform skort, game net, scorebook. The things that I did not include in my budget were a half case of balls, practice jerseys, practice rebounder, practice shooting targets, practice nets, ball bag, and coaching whiteboard. I felt that all these things could be fundraised for, and outside sources could help them. The coaching whiteboard, that could be purchased by the coach for personal use, not just at the school. So, a ball bag I was kind of iffy on. I would add that back in as just a little something extra just to make sure that they had some way to transport those to away games. But if we're just getting the program started, that's not 100% necessary. The girls could divide those balls up easily and put those in their bags as well. Wrestling was the next. Wrestling, I did mat cleaner, mat tape, extra headgear, new singlets, and new mats. Mat cleaner, obvious, maintain health compliance. Mat tape, you have to have that to compete, as well as the headgear, singlets, and their uniforms. New mats. We did half the new mats because of the cost of those. I think it would take the match a little bit longer, but that is also something we could fundraise for. The things that were not allotted to hotels and tournament, parents and players and Booster Club support can help do that. Hotels and those tournament foods, online stats program, Booster Clubs are very willing to pay for that. Shoes, players can pay for that. Half the mats, as I said, we could fundraise. T-shirts, coaches' gear, stocking caps. I plan to use some of the excess money to give all the coaches some apparel, so the rest of that we could fundraise and get that the following year. Boys volleyball, I allotted money for 2 sets of jerseys, Molten volleyballs, volleyball system, net antenna, volleyball pole pads, and a referee stand. All of these things you have to compete. Volleyball is unlike a lot of sports. You have to actually pack up the entire system and put it up. So you have to have all the things that go with it. Things I left off of this were 6 travel volleyball carts. I don't think we need 6 of those. Maybe, possibly, we could do 1. I left off the storage cart and the store pads and poles, just because I feel like that is not absolutely necessary. We could find other storage, and the volleyball holder for the net. You don't have to wrap the net that way. I mean, it does make it a little bit more convenient, but it is not absolutely necessary. Girls volleyball, I put in jerseys, spandex, practice balls, and game balls. For them, all these items they need to compete. Shoes, I said parents and players can pay for these. Everyone has different sizes. Everyone has different needs. And we're not going to turn shoes back in and use them again the next year. So, the total my budget came to was $57,200.30 with an excess of $11,799.70. My reasoning for keeping the excess, and I chose to keep the excess, was for any emergencies that might arise, as well as getting staff coaching apparel. Each coach will receive 2 logoed polos at the beginning of the year with our school logo, so they have those and they can build upon that. It is my hope that in the coming years that this excess budget would continue to grow, and we'll be able to allot everyone more money and provide more things for them as well. But through fundraisers and through this startup, I think this should give all the groups the necessary edge to compete. Thank you.